Hero and Liz Richards. But I will say that, yes, 2013 is enormously important. I wish everyone good luck. I also think it's fantastic that the Merion School Board doesn't have any opposition. So you're already elected? Let's you got one vote, So congratulations. I think 2013 is incredibly important to township. I also understand there are a few township races that are also uncontested. Abby, you're already also on your way. So congratulations there. It just goes to show how great Lower Merion had become as a Democratic stronghold. So Democratic they wouldn't even give you to me. I fought so hard for you. They might have done it a little iffier, That would have been a good thing. But I do represent a really small part of Lower Merion, so I still consider us on the same team. Someone joked that I might have to run statewide just to make sure that we don't have to worry about these boundaries anymore. In Pennsylvania, you won't be in my district, it'll be just great. I'll talk about that for a minute. But I did want to thank you all, thank all of you for the work that you do, election after election, to get Democrats elected. Locally, obviously in the state level, on the federal level, turnout's always great, enthusiasm's always great, people willing to knock on doors. It's really what we want to see, that kind of engaged community. I do also want to be here tonight because my good friend Jim Kessler is going to be speaking, and you should know, and you'll hear from Jim later, that he's one serious dude actually. He's really a serious policy wonk. And recently saw him actually in the street corner in Washington, and we started talking right then about what we were going to do on, I don't remember what it was, but Jim is very smart, and he's very engaged on policy and politically in Washington, and Democratic leadership in the House respects him tremendously. The Third Way matters a lot to us, and I have also worked closely with Third Way to get good ideas, to use those good ideas to craft good public policy for our nation and to champion it. So thank you, Jim, for all that you do on behalf of Democrats in this country. You really just entered the country. We have some tough issues and tough challenges, and figuring out how do we do that as Democrats is one of the things that Jim does. It's one of the things that I try to do, and it's really why you're here. My guess is that that's why you're here, because you care about public policy, you care about economic growth in this country. You want us to find solutions to these great challenges. You want us to get a few things done, and you should. And that's what we try to do. It's what I've always tried to do in Washington. It's what I try to do in the state Senate. So really quickly as well, because I know you have speakers and a fun dinner, but to tell you that in fact I am somebody who has always looked at the challenges, sought those solutions, and then championed it until it got done. And when I was in the state Senate, I'm probably best known, did a few other things too, but probably best known for something I am enormously proud of, which I always thought if I never did anything else would be enough to sort of say I really did something great in this world. And that was Pennsylvania created the Children's Health Insurance Program. We started it in Pennsylvania. It is now nationwide. And we did that here in Pennsylvania. And we should be enormously proud of that. 200,000 children of working parents have health insurance coverage because of what we did. That's just Pennsylvania. In the nation, 11 million children have health insurance coverage. That's pretty remarkable to be able to say that's what we did. Just two other ones I will mention, and there are a long list of ones I could talk about, but some of you may not know that the very first bill that I introduced in Washington was to help veterans. When I first was elected to Congress, 2004, it was 2005. The war in Iraq and Afghanistan were raging, it was controversial. But one of the things that I knew that we all agreed on was that we need to treat our newest veterans right. We should treat all our veterans right, but certainly our newest veterans. And so I decided that the very first piece of legislation I did would be on veterans. And I got that bill done. And I got it done when George Bush was still president. It's legislation, it's law of the land, it was expanded under President Obama, and it provides an incentive to businesses in this country to hire our recent veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan. And it's something I'm enormously proud of as well. Stood up for veterans and help veterans get back to work, be able to support their families, be able to really get re-engaged in civilian life. We hear the stories over and over again about how difficult that is to do. I was a daughter of a veteran, and my dad was away for 2.5 years, so I know as a child of a veteran what it was like for him to come home and to actually figure out how to be a family again. And that's something we proudly did. More recently, during this recession, and it was a tough recession, and maybe we'll talk about how we're going to do economic growth, and Jim's going to talk about that, I'm sure. But one of the other things I did is, we don't talk about it enough in southeastern Pennsylvania or in Pennsylvania, but biotech is a huge issue, and a huge industry, and a huge part of our economy in southeastern Pennsylvania. From medical research through biotech through pharma, it's enormously important here. And in the recession, new companies, startup biotech companies, could not get access to capital. Venture capital is kind of hard to get anyway. But it turns out that they couldn't. And many of them, they came to me and said, we have new medicines, we have new devices that could save lives. But we're not going to be able to stay alive in this recession. There's just no money out there for us. So working with Senator Menendez, we got $1 billion in grants and tax credits for startup biotech companies in this country. And 3,000 companies in this nation, over 150 of them here in Pennsylvania alone, $47 million in Pennsylvania alone, are alive today, creating those medications and those devices, maybe cures for cancer, maybe cures for Alzheimer's, we don't know. But they are out there, they're working, they're alive today because of work that we did in Washington, taking on the right challenges, figuring out what to do, and making it happen, even in a tough environment like Washington. So yes, you'd applaud for that. Just 3 things I wanted you to know about. So really what I wanted to tell you, as I heard a lot of you say this to me, is that I am somebody who does get, when I could take something on, I take it on. And I don't think any of you would doubt that about me. You know I fight hard, you know I fight smart, and you know that what's going on in Pennsylvania is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to you, and it's not to me. We have a governor who has misguided priorities and missed opportunities, and his failed leadership is hurting our state, it's hurting our families, it's hurting our future, and it's not acceptable. We can do something about it. You and I can do something about it, and that's why I'm running for governor, because, in fact, we can win this, and we shift in this, and with your support, and your determination, and your trust, we can make it happen. We need a governor with vision and leadership. We even need a governor who has her eyes wide open, will actually take on this governor and lead us in a very different direction. So please work with me, and let's help make it happen. Have a great election this year, and a great election next year. And good wishes to everybody. Thanks so much. God bless.